The Brilliant Pebbles. Chapter 1. The Old Stone. "Come in, James. Take a seat," the man said, with an almost American accent. "Thanks for coming to see me today. Just as I said over the phone, I have a story for you that will take you on a journey from the most sublime form of normality to the most inspired form of insanity, by way of time travel and science and, yes, magical art. May I offer you some tea or some coffee while we talk?" He was tall and lean, with shoulder-length greying brown hair, and as before, when he had telephoned me out of the blue, I found myself almost spellbound by his words. So I listened again. What follows was the entire story that he told to me that day. In a small town in the Scottish borders, there is an inscription carved into the stone stairway of the abbey. It reads, "Behold to your end," which translates to, "Keep in mind the end, your salvation." It is the motto of the town, and agreed, it is not light-hearted. But then, understand that the history of this town is not light-hearted, and that the flesh and blood heart, sealed inside a lead casket and buried beneath the abbey floor, is that of King Robert the Bruce. The people at that time had needed to believe that an end to their suffering was, indeed, in sight. "Hello, Gran." The large white-painted front door swung inwards, and his Gran's voice answered from within. "Oh, David, you're early. Come in, I'll put the stove on." The young student took off his dark green army jacket and placed it over his blue Adidas bag, containing all his term's lecture notes, and left them in the hall. Outside the light was fading, and as he made his way into his grandmother's lounge, the grandfather clock in the adjacent dining room chimed softly 6 times. His gran appeared from the kitchen with a welcoming smile and said, "I've made your favourite, rice pudding." "Thanks, Gran, that will warm me up. I took a slightly earlier bus from Edinburgh. There was an old man at the station, a tramp. He shook my hand. I don't know why, but I was surprised at the warmth of his hand. I somehow expected it to be cold, like the weather. I didn't think much of it until I saw some of the other passengers looking at me disapprovingly. I imagine they think of me as quite young. It was a bit weird, I suppose." "I can see you were looking a bit pale, David. I need to feed you up this weekend. How about a wee sherry before dinner? It'll be too late for you to go out fishing tonight, but there will be plenty of time tomorrow." It was a pre-dinner custom for both to enjoy a small drink together before dinner. In the warmer months of the year, gin and tonic was the preferred choice. "Yes, please. I'll set the table for us. I do need to revise for the final exams this weekend, but we can still go for our walks down to the Tweed, and maybe over the large swing bridge to Gattonside, if the weather holds good on Sunday." Every other week, and during term breaks, over the past 4 years, David had made the 40-mile journey, by bus or bicycle, from the old reeky city of Edinburgh to the idyllic small town of Melrose, nestled at the foot of the 3 Eildon Hills in Roxburghshire, to visit his gran, Ara. Idyllic would be a good description of Bow Cottage, where Ara lived, being situated right in the heart of the village, in a cul-de-sac, and literally a stone's throw away from the ancient rose-coloured stone walls of the abbey. Everything that a soul could possibly yearn for was within the confines of this small town. Ara had moved the short distance from Newstead to Melrose some time ago, after the passing of her beloved second husband, Jack. She had then made the decision to stay at the cottage until her young grandson had graduated from Heriot-Watt University. It was her gift to him, support of his university education, and when the time was right, she would eventually leave this delightful place behind and emigrate to the warmer climate of Tasmania to join her second daughter and her other 3 grandchildren.